What's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I told y'all this video was going to be a little bit different. So if you ever seen that old show MTV Cribs, welcome to my crib. So like I said in the last video, this one was going to be a little different. Not much reselling in it, but kind of letting you into my family and my journey, how I got introduced to reselling. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've done a lot of them on YouTube, but this one is kind of special to me, and it is probably one of my favorites. So I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for tuning in. So I told y'all in the last video I would answer 5 questions, from the comments, because we were coming on this vacation this week. And the first one I picked was, how did you get started in the pawn shop business? So I'm basically going to give you the long answer of how we got started. So obviously y'all know my dad. This is my grandfather, my dad's dad, and he's kind of the one that led us into entrepreneurship. Basically an entrepreneur your whole life. Started out Myrtle Beach carving signs, even before that.
In the early 70s, probably. What was it? When did we go to Myrtle Beach? 70.
So if y'all seen, when I do the giveaways in the background, if you see that sign that says the Baton family, my grandfather hand carved that, and in Myrtle Beach in what, the 70s, 80s?
The early 70s.
Yeah, the early 70s when Myrtle Beach was
maybe 72, was it? 72, 73, right in that range.
You want to tell them what happened?
Yeah, we were going through Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and the car broke down right in front of the amusement park. And the amusement park was open for business. It was a Friday night, things were really busy, and we didn't know which way to turn because we had one roll of quarters left when the car broke down and we were going to Atlantic City. So we went in and talked with the director of the park, and he said he would be glad to have us, but it was Friday night and they would be busy through Sunday, and said so we couldn't start till Sunday. So there we sat with a broke down car and
$10.
$10 in our pocket because of the trouble we were having, and I only had a few pieces of redwood with me, and we went and Monday morning bought some more redwood with the $5 bill that we had. That was it. We were there for over 10 years.
Started the business with $5.
Yeah. And then we've always talked, me and you, about how I always say I've never been like a 9-to-5 guy. I've tried it and I just couldn't do it. And then, but you've said the same thing, right?
You're copying me, yes. Same thing. I couldn't work for the man very well, and I had a fairly big family, and needed to support him. So we ended up at Myrtle Beach, and we had just a fantastic year of.
And yeah, the leather shop was successful too, right?
Yeah, the leather shop was successful too. That was my brother's shop.
And your mom and dad also.
Yes, and then my mom, my mother and dad also joined us in Myrtle Beach. So we made our home there, and the family ended up living there. Well, in the meantime, I did move to Florida, but spent every summer in Myrtle Beach.
So basically work the summers in Myrtle Beach and kind of snowbird to Florida type thing.
Exactly.
So then after the Myrtle Beach thing, after the Myrtle Beach kind of died out, I remember going there in the 90s in the summer, and it was still pretty good, but like the early 90s. But then after you came to Florida permanently, then you kind of still did your own thing, and then y'all two started doing eBay together, right? In like the late 90s?
Yep. Probably about 98, 99. Right after eBay started out. I think they started in 96, but right around 98, we started selling. Even with the Beanie Baby thing, when them things were hot, we were selling them like crazy.
That and the Cabbage Patch Doll, that was another item at the same time.
Back then they were hot. We were selling them, and me and Dad sold, what, for 15 years probably, pretty steady.
It was longer than that because...
Well, from 99 up to
2000.
Like
So
almost
yeah,
20
so
years.
well, so basically y'all started in '99 and then did that all the way until we started the shop.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, so we
So
started the
20
shop.
years.
We started the shop in 2019. I kind of did eBay on my own a little bit. They did it together from '99 all the way to like 2018, right before we started the shop. So once we started the shop, then you kind of got out of it, and then me and my dad started doing it together.
Yeah, you follow the old tradition,
Yeah.
and a good tradition it was because we, we had a good life doing entrepreneur.
Pretty much work for yourself your whole life. You
Yeah.
very few jobs. I remember you said you worked for a bread company, but he had very few jobs other than working for himself and raising 5 kids.
Sometimes I look back and we don't know how we did it, but it was interesting, and we now look back and it was a great life because we could do a lot of traveling and meet a lot of people, which we enjoyed doing buying and selling, and just interesting.
Yeah, when you work for yourself on especially those kind of things, like it's not the same thing. Like I worked for Walmart warehouse for a little while out of high school and stuff, and I just felt like a robot ant in there. Like you're just doing the same thing over and over and over and all day long. I felt like a caged animal a little bit. I just like to be able to get out and do my own thing. And I know we've talked about it, and that's where I feel like I've got a lot of my entrepreneurship ways was from you and seeing y'all and how y'all did things coming up. So y'all basically did eBay together all the way until you was 80 years old, and then in 2019 was when you kind of got out of it, and then me and my dad started doing it, and being 85 now. Do you regret anything entrepreneurship wise, or would you have did it all over the same?
No, it was a blast. It was a great life, and we were careful with our finances and so on over the years, and now I'm retired and enjoying Florida very much.
But us as kids, we never wanted for anything either. I mean, it was a good life for us kids too. I don't regret anything. I don't regret him doing it. I don't regret the 20 years we spent doing eBay and the 20 years I'm going to do it with Justin. It's a lot of fun.
So basically that's the first question, the long part of how the pawn shop got started. Started with my grandfather, then him and my dad did it together, and then me and my dad decided to open them together. Basically I worked for Walmart for about 5 years. You did it for almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years.
I did the Fire Academy for a little bit and owned a cell phone repair shop for a little bit, and you was ready to get out of Walmart, and we just basically jumped into the pawn shop.
Here we are.
Yes, it amazes me. You guys are doing so well. I'm very proud of both of you very much.
Well, we owe it all to you pretty much. We learned everything from you.
So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. That's the first question. I don't know if y'all can hear the arcade in the back. It's right next door, but that's the first question. Take you around a little bit more and we'll get to the second part. So, next question of the 5 questions was, I got my kids here, and the question was, do you want your son or daughter to be a pawnbroker when they get old enough? So, do one of y'all want to be a pawnbroker when you get old enough? Do one of y'all want to take over the shop?
I would, but I have bigger dreams.
You got bigger dreams? Alright, that's good. So what do you want to be?
A marine biologist or a lawyer.
I could be a graphic designer or a lawyer. An MLB player or a professional soccer player.
So my answer to that question is, I probably wouldn't want my kids to do it, not because there's no money in it or nothing like that, because it's kind of just a hustle, man. It's not like, I guess you always want better for your kids. I love what we do. I mean, I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world, but there is a hustle aspect to it that if you're not hustling, you're not making no money. So for the fact of like job security, when it comes to money like that, I mean, if we're not out getting it and moving and, busting our butts, you're not making no money. I mean, I know lawyers and all that stuff, they have tremendously hard jobs too, but I think there's more of job security when it comes to that. We're just kind of And then too, you also got to kind of have like a certain knack to it to be a reseller, and basically a legal hustler is what you are. So, I mean, I just wouldn't want that for my kids. I would much rather them be a lawyer or a soccer player or a graphic designer or something like that. Just because I think it's more secure, and you're not, you know, I don't really know how to explain it other than just, it's a hustle, man. It's not where you go to a job, they give you a salary or anything like that. It's, you know, you're on your own when you're out there. If you're not hustling, you're not feeding your family.
No time off with pay and all like this.
Just this vacation, I mean, we closed up the shop, so there's no paid time off, there's no 401k, there is no nothing like that. I mean, it's all basically on your own. So just the hustle aspect of it always being a grind, I love it. I wouldn't change it for nothing, but I would rather them do something else. First of all, let's get it.
Why do you do this so hard?
So I hope you guys enjoying the video this far. As you can see, it's raining here and everybody's inside, so it's super loud, and I want to get the next question out to y'all. So the next question was, can you talk about the YouTube side of things? What made you get started? How did it change things for the business? Did you watch other resellers, and future plans for the channel? So the first part of that question, I don't want to be controversial or nothing like that, but I really started YouTube because when I went on YouTube and I would watch YouTubers and watch people, I felt like I did it a little different than everybody else. My dad did it a little different than everybody else. The stuff we look for, stuff like that. I feel like when you're doing eBay, to make it worth the time, to make it worth being out, gas money, all that, you got to look for them bigger items. So I did feel like some of the resellers was doing it for the clicks more, especially the bigger channels, where, you know, they get it. YouTube, once you get up there, they do pay pretty decent. I mean, even me right now, I'm making pretty decent money on YouTube, I'm not gonna lie. So once you have 100,000, 200,000, some people got 300,000, you know, there's more money in the video you're making than the $20 item you're selling. So people need content. So that's kind of why I started it, was to put stuff out there that I felt I would want to watch if I was looking on YouTube. I'll just say it like that. So that's how I got started, really. So that really answered part one and part two. The second part of that question was, how did it change things for the business? It's changed for the better, man. I met some amazing people while doing YouTube, and not even, you know, been doing it for like 2 years and maybe like a year constantly. You know, the first year was on and off, on and off. Damn. Hope I don't get hit by lightning while doing this for y'all, but so how did it help the business? Putting videos out, trying to be your authentic self. I think people love authenticity and not, you know, if I get on camera, I don't try to be all somebody I'm not, you know. So I think people do like that. I've had a ton of business come in from the shop from YouTube. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars of stuff just from people that see me on YouTube. The people that travel from different states and countries and all that, it just means a lot to me. So for the business, it's only helped it, in my opinion. I mean, I do have people that come in that see the channel now. I was worried about when I did YouTube and people knew there was a camera there, would they come in and not want to be on camera because it's kind of a personal thing. So I was worried about losing business, and I don't know if I have. I don't know if there are people that don't come in no more because of that, but from what I've seen so far, it's only helped. The second part was, do we watch any other resellers? So you heard my grandfather talk about us reselling in the beginning. I don't really, you know, this guy don't need my shout out or nothing like that. He's way bigger than me in the YouTube world, but Craigslist Hunter, that guy on YouTube, I watched him from the very beginning when he was still actually looking on Craigslist. So he's kind of what I watched him and seen him do it, and then felt like I could put my own little twist on things. And I think that's how it goes. If you watch somebody and you do your own thing, you take certain pieces from you, but then you put your own little twist on it. And that's kind of what I did. You know, shout out to him. He's a huge channel. I've never met him, never talked to him. Looks like a really great guy. But watching him do it, and I think a lot of people see me do it too, and then it becomes real to them that they can actually do it. So shout out to him. He's kind of what didn't make me start reselling, but he's kind of what motivated me to see actually somebody doing it, because I didn't know anybody that owned any pawn shops or nothing like that. I just figured, I think he's in an area where they're not allowed to have pawn shops. They got to do like buy, sell, trade. So when I started to do the pawn shop, it was just another way to bring money in, to make money on the loans. So that's kind of the guy I watched on YouTube. Everything else I watch on YouTube is either fishing, like Blue Gabe or Mark Daniels Jr., Jacob Wheeler. I watch some of the golf guys, Grant, all them guys that golf. And that's about it. I mean, I'm not super into the resellers, people like that. I don't really like to watch it because I want my ideas to all be original for the videos and stuff like that. I don't want to watch anybody else's thing and get influenced in any way. I like to, have my own thing come out and be different than everybody else's. So the Atlanta Braves, I mean, when I miss those games, I watch those on YouTube. That's about it. And the last part was future plans for the channel. So this is like a 4-in-1 kind of question, and I do appreciate it. It's a great question. My future plans from the channel is just continue to be myself and authentic. I try my best to, I love Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods, but them guys, and I would never be that big, not saying that, but sometimes people get too big for themselves and forget, the people that watched in the beginning. I try my best to respond to everybody on Instagram that reaches out. It might take me a while. I try my best to read all the comments, so I don't want to get too big where, you kind of forget how you started and where you came from things. So that's my future, is to try to, no matter how big it gets, to continue to understand that the viewers are what makes the YouTube channel. I can put out the greatest content in the world, but if nobody's watching it, nobody's responding, it don't mean nothing. So to me, that's big, is remembering the people that helped me get to where I'm at today. And I do appreciate every single one of y'all. It means a lot to me. The other future is the 100K giveaway. So my 100K giveaway is kind of what I just exactly talked about. I love to give back on the channel. It makes me feel good to be able to give some people stuff. I know sometimes I'm a week or two or more out on giveaways and stuff, but I do get everything out to everybody eventually. So that's my future. The 100K giveaway is strictly for the viewers that watch. I think it's going to be one of the best. I can't wait to hit the 50K giveaway to Gold Buffalo, but the 100K is going to be even way better than that. So that's my answer to that question, and I appreciate it so much. Let's get back in there. All right, so in this video, I've kind of introduced you to my family. This is two of my aunts right here, my Aunt Jen, Aunt Ginger, and this kind of goes with the next question. So the next question was, can you talk about how you gathered up enough merchandise whenever you originally opened the shop? So when we started the shop, we'll start from the beginning. My aunt had a house, she sold us, and when we opened the shop, she gave me such a great deal on it that I ended up selling the house, and that was the only way I was able to start the shop. So that was the money I used to start it up. So in reality, without her, the shop wouldn't be here. So I never really told you, but I want to thank you for that, and it meant a lot to us. And the reason I am where I am today is you had a huge part in it. I mean, I don't know if I ever told you thank you enough for that. When we sold the house, that was the money I used to pay bills and get started up. I've had people ask, what's it cost to start up? In the beginning, for like the first year and a half, you're not really making no money like that. I mean, you sell things for profit, but you got so much going out that, your bills you originally had, everything like that. So you need that capital to be able to, sit for a while and not make no money. So that was the only way I was really able to do the pawn shop, was to have that, for you giving us that deal on that house, and then us having to sell it, and then that was the money I used to start up. So without you, there might not be no MJ Pawn.
I love you.
I love you too. And then to my Aunt Jen. So she has 3 sons. Her sons, to me, we're more like brothers. I mean, we were raised together. I think I stayed at your house more than our own, more than my own when I was coming up. So when we started the pawn shop, we didn't have no jewelry, no nothing. I mean, we got the building in February, and then we ended up not open till May, and we used that time to be able to find stuff to build up. Well, you're not really finding stuff at yard. You're not really finding jewelry at yard sales or nothing like that. And I don't even know how it came about. I think you just walked in and said that we need jewelry, and what'd you give us, like 30 pieces of jewelry?
Yeah.
Rings, necklaces, charms, bracelets. So I said in the beginning this video was important to me because family is really important to me, and that's kind of how our whole family is. We do this vacation together, and you know, we help each other out, and I've been helped out probably more than I deserve in this family. So I just wanted to, you know, put y'all in it and let them know to answer that question. That's the stuff we gathered up. Other than that, it was yard sales. I mean, we bought stuff at yard sales, and we opened the shop kind of bare. Luckily, we got the jewelry from you, or we wouldn't have had any. And I mean, we didn't have a ton of money to start up to go buy $20,000 worth of jewelry or nothing like that to build it up. So if we wouldn't have got that, we wouldn't have had nothing.
I just couldn't be more proud. Like, I couldn't, like, this is what you've always wanted, and it's what you've always dreamt of for the 20 years of adult life that I've known, and I'm just so proud of you.
Oh, we can talk
and
about
the
this for
kids
sure.
and-
So
Yeah.
my aunt is the HR hiring manager where I worked at before. How big it was a pain in my...
Yeah, he didn't like it. He didn't like
How
it.
many intermittent LOAs and call, hey, if I call out today, is that going to put me on this
Am I
and
gonna
that?
get fired? Mhm, you're
So the
probably
9 to 5
gonna
thing
get
was
fired.
never really a thing for me, so that was funny. But,
I'm just so glad you were able to do it because it's been your dream for your life.
yeah.
And I can just say that so many people were against, first of all, Michael quitting his 20-year job and the security and the just having all of that security and you know, giving all of that up to just go out on a whim and try this thing on his own, and just him and Justin, and having nothing because they really had nothing, and so many people were like, you're not gonna make it, you're not gonna succeed, and I was always, you know, guys, do it, you're gonna make it, you got drive, you know, you guys are just so good. And
That meant a lot too, to have somebody in your corner to back you, and because there was quite a few people saying, oh, you're crazy, especially for my dad, because like I said, the 9 to 5 thing wasn't my thing, so my work ethic when it came to that thing, definitely people, I probably don't blame them for questioning it, but you know, doing our own thing, I couldn't be more happy where I'm at right now, and I can't thank y'all enough for how y'all have helped me get to where we're at. Thank y'all, appreciate it.
Love you.
All right, so we had to find a quiet place because it's raining. Everybody's in there. It's super loud everywhere. Next question was, yes, I would like to know how you keep ticking because you can't have a heart the way you rip people off that bad.
Wow. People
No, that ain't a question. I mean, well, no, that's not a question. It was just, I thought that was funny. Actually, it's funny. I had to give him his props on that. Now, I'm not going to send you a free t-shirt, but I did think that was pretty funny. So the last question was, and I thought it was only right, it's a good question for me and my dad because, you know, it's us two and we run it together, and it's a good question. Some say working with your family is too hard. Is your relationship with your father better or worse now you work together every single day? You want to start it off? So, I wouldn't say it's better or worse. I would say it's about the same. I mean, we've always been super close from the time I was a kid.
I would say it probably has gotten a little bit better because we do share a lot. We're with each other 10 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week. So I would say, you know, it brings you close, but we were already a really close family and really close as father and son, I think.
So I've also had people asking other questions, you know, how is the split? How do we split profits? All that kind of thing. We're 100% 50-50, even though, you know, in the last part of this video, I talked about my aunt selling me a house, and that was the portion I brought in for the business. But you brought in 4 or 5 times the money I had. That was mainly for me to survive and put a little bit in, but you know, you've funded it a lot more than me, but still being 50-50.
Yeah, it's still 50. We agreed before we even started. You know, everything we did was going to be 50-50. We aren't going to give each other a hard time on stuff. Everything we've done has been really successful. Before this, I mean, with his sports and with his different things he's done, and with my job and different things I've done, we've always given 100% when we do something and we put our minds to it. His work ethic, like he said before, wasn't the greatest. He didn't like the 9 to 5, but I could see that. You know, I saw he was like our family. He was like my dad a lot, that he wanted his own thing and wanted to do his own thing, and I wanted to give that to him. And I'm also that way, you know. I just knew that, you know, what I had was...
Because before you started Walmart, you did your own thing for...
Yeah, exactly.
30 years.
I had a landscaping company for years, so I just did that. I'm not even sure why I did it. I just did it, and I ended up staying there because I liked it. But this is me, though. This is what I love. I like doing that, but I love doing this, and so...
And people's always asked too, well, I always ask, but I've seen them ask the decision making, who makes the final decision. You know, I've bought, well, now it's a lot better, but in the very beginning, I've given people advice on buying stuff. I bought some terrible things, you bought some terrible things, but we never gave each other a hard time other than making a joke about it. I mean, there's nothing where he's going to buy and I'll come in and say, why would you buy that? You know, at the end of the day, we know we're trying our best.
Yeah, we're doing what's best for the shop because it's his family, my family, it's our livelihood. So I know he's not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize that, and I'm definitely not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize that. So I think we both do what's best for the company. We are absolutely 50-50 on everything. I don't question things he does. I may ask him something. He doesn't question when I make a buy or when I do something. He may ask me something, and we only, you know, learn to do it better from us questioning each other on little things like that. But it hardly ever comes up because I trust him 100%. I think he trusts me 100%, and that means everything to me, especially in the pawn business, because it's so easy for somebody to take advantage of somebody else in there or something like that. So you have to trust who you're with in there.
And even being there for, you know, 5+ years now, May 20th, what's today? In 3 days will be 5 years when we officially opened it up. But we haven't had no crazy arguments or nothing. Anybody that knows me knows I'm like a super competitive, like, sometimes I may come off as a way, but I don't mean it. It's just like a competitive thing where even in a, you know, a disagreement you might have with somebody or a discussion, like, we haven't really had any big arguments or nothing
very
like
little,
that.
very little.
And some of that might be from, you know, life gets tough and you might be dealing with something else, but we've never had no crazy arguments where it was like, even on the weekends now, we still fish together when we fish all the time. We fish together. We go out to eat together, go places together, vacation together. So it's not like, man, I work with you 50 hours a week.
Get away.
Get the hell away from you. Nah, we don't do that. You know, me and you've always have been super close. So I mean, I don't feel like it's changed. I don't feel like it's gonna change. I still feel like before we started it. You know, so
it's been 5 years, and to me, it seems like a year. I mean, it doesn't seem like 5 years.
So I think a lot of people in this video, some of my family, I didn't get them in it, but you know, the most important thank is to you, man. I mean, I don't know where I'd be right now if you didn't take a chance on me a lot more than I took a chance on you. So I appreciate that. It's changed my life, you know, way for the better. I said this video was, you know, important to me because it's kind of my life outside of the business and where I've came from and just where I'm at now. So man, I can't thank you enough. And to be honest, we're more like best friends than like father and son. I mean, absolutely. We joke and goof around more than probably the average dad or son. We probably, you know, are more like friends than actually father son. So I appreciate that. I appreciate everything you've ever done for me. I know you don't like when I tell you thank you because you know, you say that's your job, but it means more to me than anything, man. I can't thank you enough. I don't even have words to explain it. I mean, I don't know. My wife too, shout out to my wife because she put up with me through them times too of calling out and doing this and doing that. I'm telling you, I know I've said it, but y'all don't understand that. It was just not my thing. And I mean,
and I can see that. We all saw that.
She's busted her butt to help get to where I am today too. So I can't thank her enough. I know y'all seen her in the videos sometimes. Emily, his wife, my stepmom. Can't thank her enough. She's been so supportive through the whole way. I'm sure, you know, when you said, hey, I'm leaving this and doing this, it took a lot for her to say, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, it's her future
So,
too. So I mean, it does. It makes a big difference when you're supported by your wives. You know, that makes a huge difference, because she could have been against it, and you know, it could have made big problems. But our wives have always been super supportive of everything we've done. But
And my sister too. I mean, Jen talked about people supporting and stuff like that. Justice was #1 supporter to this day. I mean, first to watch the videos, comments. If people get smart in the comments, she's there backing us up. So,
but yeah, she's been very extremely supportive. We even have to tell her, calm down.
she's a lot like me,
You know,
like ready to.
She's not afraid to say what she thinks.
This ain't the tough part about doing YouTube, and this is. And I've had people on there say, "Man, you worry about the negative stuff too much," and they're right. They're 100% right. But just that it's that competitiveness of me is
when
like
somebody says something about you, or
like
says
you
something,
just go at it. And she's me and her are a lot alike when it comes to that.
she may even be a little bit more.
Yeah, she might be.
She's younger, so she may even be a little bit more. You know.
So I can't thank y'all enough. Like I said, this video means a lot to me just because it's pretty personal. There's not a lot of reselling. Well, there's no reselling this. So if you made it to the end, you know, I can't thank you enough.
Those are the people that make us who we
somehow
are.
I'm trying to think of a way, and I had a good comment of people that, you know, actually watch the videos, trying to get them to be the ones to win, you know, putting something in the video where they'll, you know.
If you have any ideas, let us know. We want our long-term people.
So if you made it to this, man, I appreciate y'all. This was one of my favorite videos just because it's, you know, especially to me, it's a look into my life, our life, more than just buying and selling. So
I think you said it earlier, without you guys, we don't have a channel. We, you know, we're less successful in our business. So please keep doing what you're doing. We're going to do our best to put out good content for y'all. Just real stuff. You know, we're not going to be fake. We're never going to be fake in this channel. We're going to do all we can to, you know, do as good a job for y'all as possible, because you are the ones that make us.
So the 5 people that left the questions, message me right here on Instagram. I'll get your address. I'll send you out them shirts. Great. There was a lot of great questions. I wish I could have got to them all.
We read tons and tons.
We're on vacation. I'm going to go back and try to respond to as many as I possibly can when we come back. A lot of great questions. I'm sorry if I didn't get to all of them, but the people that I did, I can't thank you enough. And can't thank y'all enough, man. Appreciate it. So I told you I'd show you around a little bit more if you stick around. This is my Aunt Peggy. One of the best crafters. She had the kids out here painting. She's an artist. Who's this old man? I think y'all seen him before. The kids out here in the pool. My brother-in-law. My nephew Knox. This is Reunion, the golf course. And they have, I don't think it's an Airbnb, it's through the company out here, but we come out here once a year for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. I have to give him Izzy's bracelet. I need to take
Must
it to get
have Mom. The one we talked about bad in the video. Cousin Wendy. Cousin Lacey. There's Justice, the one I told y'all if you say something crazy in the comments, she's coming for you. So we got, these are Jen's kids that you seen earlier in the video. Like I said, more like my brothers Cole, Derek, I don't know where Mike's at. My Uncle Randy, the one that helped me get to where I'm at. When you see the video, you'll see. And then Cole's wife, Savannah. And let's see who we got in here.
That's what they said.
Part of the house, some more of my family. My Aunt Lori. She's the one that makes this house happen for the most part. Uncle Cleve. My beautiful grandmother. 2 more of my cousins.
Jackson waiting.
Uncle Steve. Uncle Steve. Y'all see him sometime in the videos already. Show him that Cowboys tattoo.
Huh?
Show him that Cowboys tattoo.
Cowboys tattoo.
Can't see it. Pull it up more. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'll see y'all next week.